Right. Okay. Ani, bonsoir, and welcome to a special council meeting for a zoning bylaw amendment. I'd like to call this meeting to order. I need a mover and a seconder to adopt the agenda. Dave and Renee. All those in favor? Thank you. Any disclosure of pecuniary interests? Seeing none. So this evening, there's a public hearing scheduled for one zoning bylaw amendment. And that is application number ZBA 25-05FR for Nina and Peter Judd Levitt. The planning, oh, sorry, that's okay. I thought I said something wrong. The Planning Act requires that a public hearing be held before council decides whether or not to pass a zoning bylaw amendment. The public hearing serves two purposes. First, to present to council and the public the details and background to a proposed rezoning. And second, to receive comments from the public and agencies before council makes its decision. Monsieur Dumont will provide a summary of the application. From there, the applicant may be requested to make a presentation, followed by questions from the public, either for or against the proposal. Council will then have the opportunity to question the applicant, the director of planning, or anyone giving a presentation. The zoning bylaw amendment will be considered by council. Monsieur Dumont, would you please advise how public notice was provided?
Thank you. Notice of public hearing was posted in the municipal office and was sent by mail to the assessed owners within 120 meters of the property subject for the proposed zoning bylaw amendment this evening, and to those persons and agencies likely to have an interest in the application. So the notices were sent on March 26, 2025, being over 20 days prior to this evening's meeting. And included with the notice was an explanation of the purpose and effect of the proposed zoning bylaw amendment application, a key map or a sketch showing the intent and purpose of the application as well. So that additional information is sent to the owners abutting this proposed site.
Thank you. I now declare this portion of the hearing to be a public hearing to deal with application number ZBA 25-05FR- Nina and Peter Judd Levitt. Monsieur Dumont, would you please summarize the purpose and effect of the proposed zoning bylaw amendment and provide any additional information and correspondence relevant to this application?
Thank you. So with the application description, the purpose and intent of the zoning bylaw amendment application this evening is for the construction of a two-story accessory structure on a waterfront residential lot. And it's located on 18 Brosseau Road in the municipality of French River. So to give you a little bit of context, I did conduct a site visit for here. So the structure is, or like a portion of the structure exists. So I know the intent with the bylaw this evening in front of council is the construction of a two-story accessory structure, but I'll do a little deep dive and an explanation of what has gone on like last year to where we are now and where we're going forward. So the overall height of the detached garage or accessory structure is 22 feet, 3 inches, which is equivalent to 6 meters, 6.79 meters. And the footprint of the structure is 55 feet by 30 feet or 16.76 meters by 9.14 meters. So the structure or this detached garage is going to be divided into two parts. It's still one structure, but it's going to have two different uses within the structure. So one half of the garage is going to be a workshop. The other half of the garage is going to be used for storage purposes. So when we're looking at the zoning bylaw for consideration under the municipality of French River, it does permit detached garages with a maximum height of 5 meters or 1.5 stories, whichever is lesser. So generally speaking, when we come to the Committee of Adjustment, I know this is zoning bylaw amendment application, but generally speaking, owners of properties will generally come to the committee to ask for relief from the 5 meter threshold. Because that's what's set in stone for waterfront residential. But in this particular case, what's going on is basically they're building something that's defined through building department and some of the bylaws that it's a second story structure. So as a result of that, we have to use this tool or this measuring tool basically to allow or consider it for council this evening. And that's for that two-story structure as is defined with both building services as well as the planning department. So there's a bylaw that speaks to the 5 meters or 1.5 stories. And in this particular case, conducting the site visit, what we did was the site visit was conducted and the accessory structure is partially completed. So the slab is poured, the first story, the walls are up, and it's been paused to redesign due to some changes of the trusses for the detached garage. So here's the context to the situation. Originally, there's a building permit that was issued for the detached garage, which was split into 2 tiers. And one being, if you drove by today, one's a significantly higher tier and then the other tier is lower. So there's 2 tiers right now. And the building permit was issued for that originally. And it's on Brosso Road. So the higher wall forms part of the workshop, which faces the road. And the other wall, which is lower, faces the existing home on the waterfront lot. So that's how it is today. So the owners, over the course of the last several months, decided to, as they were building the garage, they said, you know what, there's an opportunity to maybe change the design of the trusses and to utilize or maximize that lower tier that it is now. So with doing that, they're changing the design of the trusses. As a result of that, it's now becoming a 2-story structure because they have 2 floors. So that's the whole purpose of the initial building permit and what they're revising their plans with Andrew's department. So they're going to revise their construction plans to include special trusses for the second tier, adding additional usable storage space. So that second floor is going to be for storage purposes only, which requires why we're here this evening. And as part of this process, I take into account the neighboring properties. So when I was conducting my site visit, I ended up talking to the neighboring property owner at 30 Brosso Road in French River. We had a good conversation there. He allowed me to walk his property as well. And it was very insightful to kind of get a feel and sense of where his home is in relation to this 2-story detached garage. So what's interesting with his property is that there'll be no negative impact on the additional height, and I'll explain why. His home is set back further to the street. And so where the garage is being built is in between his home and the existing home of the Nina's place. So that's why there's no impact there, one. And he has mature cedar trees along the existing lot line between both properties. So it goes right down the property lot, and they're like 15, 20 feet. So they act as a nice buffer. And he also has a shed or a tent that's located right beside it. So when he enjoys his coffee or any beverage on his deck, he's basically the garage is out of sight, out of mind, because the house is further set back. So he has no issues, no concerns. I had a conversation with him on site, like I said. So he's happy with how everything's kind of planned itself out. No concerns there. And with respect to the other neighboring property, which is on I believe the west side, is further away from this. It's about 100 feet away. And again, so there's really no impact there. So I was just really concerned with 30 Brosso Street and where that 2-story is going to be in relation to his home, his tarp garage, and his deck where he enjoys leisurely just enjoying the lake and stuff like that. So I just wanted to make sure we're okay. So in conclusion, the proposed 2-story accessory structure is in line with the intent of the zoning bylaw. And due to the layout and the distance from the neighboring property, will have no negative impact, which is expected. The lowering of the existing grade. So what happened there was that the Nina and her husband kind of removed a lot of the topsoil where the garage is. So it brought the grade down. And that also benefited in terms of the additional height and not impacting the neighboring property. So with the existing grade being reduced, also the visual impact is not really there as much. It's not as apparent. So therefore, the variance is considered minor and appropriate for this particular situation. Now, with that said, as we do with all applications, we circulate to agencies and we circulate it to staff. And the municipality of French River staff had no issues or comments regarding the proposed zoning bylaw application. Just to give you a little bit of context, I've been working with Nina for several months, as well as Andrea's department to get to where we are today and kind of moving forward so they can have those new trusses up on the garage and they can complete that detached garage and use it for storage for her side, and her husband's side is more the workshop side. So with that said, it can be supported from a planning perspective.
Thank you, Matt. Nina or Peter, did you want to make a presentation or say a few words, or you don't have to? Oh, no. What's that? I think he did. Well, we don't get into that. We don't go there. Are there any questions from council? Seeing none. I declare this public hearing to be concluded. It's now in order for council to make a motion and to consider the application. So I need a mover and a seconder. Dave and Renee.
It is moved and seconded, be it resolved that bylaw 2025-20 being a bylaw to amend zoning bylaw 2014-23 as amended, Nina and Peter Judge Levitt, be read a first, second, and third time and finally passed.
Thank you. All those in favor? Thank you. So I now declare this public hearing to be concluded. The zoning bylaw amendment has been passed, but be advised that there is a 20-day appeal period for which time a specified person, public body, or registered owner may appeal the bylaw to the Ontario Lands Tribunal by filing a notice of appeal with the clerk of the municipality of French River. The notice of appeal must set out the reasons for the appeal and must be accompanied by the required fee, which is prescribed under the Ontario Lands Tribunal Act 2017. This fee should be made payable to the Minister of Finance. All comments will be treated as public record and given out upon request. Okay. So I need a mover and a seconder to adjourn. Willie and Roger. All those in favor? Thank you. Thank you. And Matt, thank you very much.